Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Res. In this video, I want to go over what I think is going to be one of the best Warlock builds you can run this season. Now, you're going to be able to run this build in normal gameplay, in-game gameplay, and pretty much anything you want. And the reason you can do that is because this build is heavily focused on ad clear, and it is also really good for boss DPS. There are some new weapons on top of some changes that came out with Witch Queen, and it is going to make this build insanely good. So if you guys do enjoy, consider doing all the normal YouTube stuff, and let's just jump right into this. All right, so starting off, to answer the question, I know all of you guys are asking, yes, Osteo Striga does work with Necrotic Grip. Essentially, the way it works is, obviously, if you have Osteo Striga, you get a kill, it's going to poison whatever enemy you kill, and then the other poison enemies die. But the way it works with Necrotic Grip is that when that Osteo Striga applies that poison when you kill an enemy, that poison applied to the other enemies will also explode and continue applying poison everywhere, and you can just become a one-man killing machine. So that is the exotic combo that's mainly the work behind this build, but you also have things like 43.0 now, which you make a pretty simple grenade build. You have, max discipline with things like Echo of Explosion to make enemies blow up, Echo of Remnants, so whenever you feel like a vortex grenade, it lasts longer. Plus, the new vortex grenade pulls people in, which makes it really good for Osteo Striga because the poison is going to hit everyone. Then, Echo of Undermine so Void Grenades weaken, and then Echo of Dilation just to get some stats with Feed the Void and Child of the Old Gods. Now, Child of the Old Gods is where your DPS part comes in, because you run things like Empowering Rift and Child of the Old Gods, not only are you applying a debuff, you're also getting a damage buff, and you can use something like your Heavy right here, and you can actually do really good boss damage as well. It's really good. The flexibility of this build is insane, and you're going to be able to just kill everything. Now, I will be making a more in-depth grenade build because you can do some really crazy things on the Void Walker with their grenades. So if you guys would like to see that, be sure to stick around. But the main bread and butter of this build is just Osteo Striga with Necrotic Grip. You can pretty much run whatever special and heavy you want. I would probably recommend a rocket, and I've been loving the glaive. The glaive is really fun for enemies that get super up close. You can just whip this out and just melee them to death. But for mods, I do run things like a kinetic siphon right here just to get some orbs, because when you're killing everything with Osteo Striga, you're generating orbs everywhere for your team and for yourself. Running things like a heavy ammo finder is almost a must now if you run an exotic primary, because the amount of heavy you get is just crazy. And also on top of that, if you didn't know, exotic primaries actually got a 40% damage buff to red bars, so that's why in in-game content you're going to be able to actually use these now, on top of it spawning more ammo for you if you are running a ammo finder. Now, other mods to make this build work better is things like elemental ordnance. So when I get a grenade kill, I'm going to spawn void elemental wells, which is going to be really good with some of our other mods. Then things like well tenacity right here, which is going to really play into the void elemental well. So picking up a void elemental well is going to reduce the damage you take from bandits for a short period of time. This also recently got buffed. You're going to have a ton of these everywhere. You're going to have a bunch of damage reduction. You can also run things like overload rounds. I know they don't currently work in the game right now as recording this, but once they start working again, Osteo Striga is now going to be able to overload enemies this season, which is really good. Then even with it being nerfed, I'm still running Protective Light because it's still damage reduction. It's still really good with some rocket reserves and the seasonal mod thermo shock plating, so you take reduced arc and solar damage. Now I'm also running bountiful wells, even though I'm only running one elemental ordnance. Since this is still gonna let me spawn an additional elemental wells, so I'll have 2 void wells instead of just 1. Also have innervation on right here, so I just get more grenade cooldown when I pick up a power, which I'm gonna be making a lot. Then finally, elemental charge. So whenever I pick up a void elemental well, not only I can get well tenacity now, I'm gonna get elemental charge proc, which give me protective light, which is really good. And on top of that, I have a utility kickstart, so I can get more Child of the Old Gods out. Suppressive glaive. This is actually really good. Run up to an enemy or just shooting them with the glaive, you're going to suppress them. That's also why I really like running the glaive, because I really am enjoying this mod right now. But yeah, that's pretty much the build that I'm running. Just again, TLDR, get a grenade kill to spawn 2 void elemental wells, so you can pick those up. You get charged light. Charged light's going to let you get protective light, and well tenacity is going to give you damage reduction when you pick up that void elemental well as well, no pun intended. Then obviously Osteo Striga with Necrotic Grip is a huge ad clear that you have. Rocket Glaive is really good DPS. If you need more DPS, Child of Old Gods with Empowering Rift. Then your grenades are also gonna pull people in, get everybody close together, so Osteo Striga can destroy everything. Now this build is going to get better. This is just what I have on right now. Once we get things like the Osteo Striga Catalyst, which if you don't know what it does, poison final rounds, we're trying to aim it to the magazine. You're pretty much gonna have infinite ammo with your Osteo Striga, which is also going to allow another mod slot open if you don't want to take Reloader, and this can be another champion mod for whatever you want to do. And you're going to be able to take this like literally everywhere in the game. It is crazy good. And I definitely recommend trying this out if you are a Warlock. I really think this is going to be one of the best in-game builds for Warlock this season. But that's what it all for me. I'm going to have a ton of Destiny content coming out for you guys. Like I said, a more in-depth grenade build, some weapons to look out for. I think this rocket launcher right here, low-key, is going to be one of the best day one raid rockets in my opinion, which I will make a video on. So again, if you guys like to see that, just be sure to stick around. But thank you all so much for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.